What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Tej pack. Tej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun, and a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Tej Henley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tej Henley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Tej Henley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a Dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Tej Henley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a Dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Tej pack. Feel the Tej, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. It is Friday, September 22nd, 2023 year of our Lord, and I'm happy to be with you today. So the agenda for today is that I would like to drop the link in the chat for you guys to be able to come up and express whatever disagreement that you may have with me, right? You know what we do on Fridays, and so it's no different today. I am on a little bit of a time crunch, so we definitely going to be plowing through and making sure that we address all of the issues and the stories and getting to the money and having the conversations because I got a flight to catch. It's been dope here in Dallas. I love Dallas. Dallas is like my third home. Of course, you know, we got Detroit. Shout out to Detroit. What up, though, to all of my people over in Detroit. Then we got Miami because I spent an extended amount of time in South Florida in general. South Florida is like Miami and Tampa is like, you know, 2A and 2B, and then it's Dallas. And the way that I identify the place that is my second and third and fourth home is based off of how much time that I spend there. And y'all show me so much love here in Dallas. I love Dallas. I love all of the people that I've linked up with, everybody that I've met. Dallas is awesome. And so I can't wait to plan a tour because I can't wait to tap into every single market that's possible here in the United States of America. And then I can head over to Toronto, over into London, maybe hit Africa, definitely gonna hit Asia. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all of my people here in Dallas. Shout out to all of the real life street stars. The production is dope, super cool dudes. I just make so many friends everywhere that I go. I don't have any enemies. I have 0 enemies whatsoever. Hey, let me tell you something. There's 2 things about life before we start to break down and get into the housekeeping and everything like that. Let me just have this conversation. 2 things that you want to do in life, right? Figure out how to minimize the amount of enemies that you have. And the way that you do that is by preventing yourself from even reacting to and having a conversation about dusty conversations in the first place, right? Couple different ways. When you go through and you see a space or an area or an environment that you don't think that's conducive for what you're trying to do, or you think that it may pop off, or you think that it's, you know, a negative situation, divest yourself immediately. Don't second guess yourself every single time you correct. Every single time you correct. I don't know how many times that I've had the conversation with myself and I've said stuff like, man, I should have listened to myself when I first decided to leave. Or, man, I should have never been here. I knew that I shouldn't have been there. I knew that that's not, I don't know how many times that I've had the conversation with myself and I said that, yo, I'm so pissed at myself for not listening to what my inner man was telling me to get the heck up out of here or don't be involved, but I should have never messed with that person in the first place. Every single time, listen to your inner man. The second thing that you want to do is make sure that you pay your people. Let me give you the two rules of life that I live by. I live by and I die by it. Shout out to Vanessa, the Intentional American. What up, though? Mona, Kojak, Randy, all of y'all. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Megan. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Sam the God, Brandy, Mona, Treese, Mary, Randy, all of y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat, right? Shout out to Ray. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. 2 rules of advice that I live by. Minimize the amount of enemies that you make and make sure you pay your people. Minimize the amount of enemies that you make and make sure that you pay your people. The first one is very, very hard. The second one just comes with being business-minded. The first one is very difficult because when you say minimize the amount of enemies that you make, that also makes you be situationally aware. You got to pay attention to your surroundings. You got to remove yourself from people that may be causing trouble in your life. You know what I'm saying? And more importantly, the thing that most people do that they cannot miss, it's so hard for them to do, is do not react. Do not even entertain it. Don't give it any kind of visibility. Just let them do what they do. Listen, you got to let people crash out. It's as simple as that. Once you get to a certain level, the decisions that you're going to make on a day-to-day basis is going to be big, right? They're exponential. Because listen, if I make a decision to go and entertain you, that means that it's somebody that may not eat on the other side of that because I'm supposed to be focused on putting money into their pocket instead of entertaining the foolishness that come along with you. I can't entertain that. I can't entertain this chick that want to have a conversation about negativity, but I'm not really feeling negative. I can't entertain that guy over there that want to clout chase and want to get some visibility because they can't get themselves popping on their own, and so all they do is talk about. I don't have time for that. The only thing that I got time to do at this point is build. Those are games for people that got an extraordinary amount of time on their hands, that has no kind of situational awareness. And it doesn't matter how old they are. They can be 18, 20, 30, 40, 50. They still out here looking for problems and looking to crash out. Minimize the amount of enemies that you have, and then prevent yourself from continuing to entertain the nonsense whatsoever, right? As I get older, as I get richer, as I get more money, as I become more mature, the less I care about the things that people are talking about because I have to focus on making sure that I put money in the pockets of the people that really support me. That's number one. What's the other one? It leapfrogs off of the first one. The second part is make sure that you pay your people. Ain't one person in the world that can say that Anton ain't never paid him. Not a contractor, right? Not a tree cutting service, not an employee, not a person that in live stream with me, not a content creator. Not one person can ever say that Anton from AntonDaniels.com don't do big business. Let me tell you something. The first thing that I do when I get a check, any kind of check, don't matter if it's a check from corporate America, don't matter if it's a check from contracting, don't matter if it's a check from taking care of business, a real estate check, rent, so on and so forth. You know what the first thing that I do when I get a check? The first thing that I do before I do anything, before I pay a bill, right? Before I pay myself, I pay my people. I take care of the people that's doing the work on the front lines, that's making sure that they bringing in them bags. I make sure I take care of them. I give them bonuses. I give them perks. I give them extra inside of their check. They be texting me and saying, Anton, calling me immediately. Anton, you sent me too much money. No, I didn't. I meant to send you that. I know what I said that I was going to give you, but I'm giving you extra. And listen, I'm not just talking about the people that work for you. I'm not just talking about the people that's on your team. I'm talking about everybody that I interact with. Big tipper. I know that it's a culture around here. I know it's a culture in other countries and other places that they said that they don't tip and all of that. Listen, that's cool. I'm not criticizing you. I'm not you. I'll take care of everybody. The guy at the airport, the dude that's at the hotel that's picking up my bags, my security, I don't pay them what the fee is that I'm supposed to pay them. I pay them extra. I feed them. I take care of them. I make sure that I send them gifts, right? If you got a doorman, make sure that you send him a Christmas gift. Listen, Christmas is every day over here. Everybody that's associated with me busts down a bag. Ain't nobody struggling. Ain't nobody on a struggle bus. Ain't nobody gonna have no problems. Every single person that's on my team eat. Everybody. Make sure you pay your people. If you're a business owner, if you're starting a business, the number one rule in business is you take care of the people that's bringing in the money. You take care of the people that's taking care of business. You take care of people that's making sure that you eat. You take care of people that's keeping the operations running. You always supposed to take care of your people. Pay your people. Stay out of the nonsense, because nonsense then prevents you from being able to feed your people and then continue to run them bags up. Keep running the bags up. Forget the nonsense. Forget all of the trash. Forget anything that continues to distract you from the path that you're supposed to be taking. As you get older, you're supposed to get more mature. Some people stay stupid. Some people stay in that same pace. Some people stay clout chasing. Some people stay focused on the smaller picture. Do you know that it's grown people, grown men that's still doing it for the likes on Instagram? You know it's grown men that still do it for the likes on the YouTube algorithm, but the algorithm ain't necessarily bringing them no bags. You know it's grown men that's out here clout chasing, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. Grown women that's out here clout chasing, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old. That's why I didn't go to the event in Dallas. And when I was talking to the people and the promoters and the videographers and stuff like that, because I was talking to them yesterday, I was kicking it with them in person. They said, Anton, you made the right decision. You made the right decision. You got the heck up out of there. You ain't trying to be associated with nothing that's tearing you down, or you've evolved past a certain point. Why would you even associate yourself with that type of thing? And it confirmed what my security told me to do when they had me get up out of there 2 days ago. Say, listen, this ain't you. This ain't you. Listen, if you're not trying to get no money, if you're not trying to have a good time, if you're not trying to network effectively, get the fuck up out of my. Listen, I don't curse on the Millionaire Morning Show, or at least I try not to, but I'm going to be very, very clear. If you not running it up for a bag in order to make sure that you adding value into your people's life, then get the fuck up out of my way, man. It's as simple as that. Just stay out of my purview. Do not even make yourself visible to me. If we not running up a bag together, then I don't even need to know who you are. I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know where you from. If you're not supporting, if you're not adding value, if we can't figure out how to get some money together, then get the fuck up out of my way, man. We moving over here. We building legacies. At the end of the day, when you on your deathbed, right? And I communicate this to my daughter. I communicate this to my people all the time. They always say, Anton, how do you pick and choose what you decide to entertain and what you stay away from? How do you pick and choose what you decide to entertain and what you stay away from? I say, all right, it's a very simple thing that I do. At the end of the day, if I'm on my deathbed and I look back on my life and it wasn't something significant or relevant to where I can actually take with me in a memory that was meaningful to me, I stay away from it. That applies to everything. It applies to the very arguments that you could potentially have with the person that you land next to. I'm not arguing with you because next week I'm not even going to remember that fact that we had an argument or what we was arguing about. So why would I even entertain this small little thing that's not even going to play no significant role in my life? If I'm on my deathbed or if I die, will you remember this argument? No, you won't. So why are we even entertaining this? Let's make great memories together. Let the time that we spend together as a couple, as relationships, as networkers, or as people that continues to run the bag up or participate in each other's life, let the things that we do be meaningful to our lives. If at the end of the day, you at somebody's funeral, if you don't think that you're going to be able to remember or you're going to recall that memory, then why are you even entertaining that shit in the first place? Let them crash out. Let them have that shit. Just walk away. People will tell you every single day, listen, when it starts to be things that get out of hand, you know what I do? I just turn my back and I just keep walking. I don't say, hey, I'm out of here. I don't make no announcements. I don't go to people that I'm not rocking with no more and say, hey, man, you know, I ain't rocking with y'all no more. Y'all crazy. I just don't show up no more. I don't be in the hood. You just don't see me. You don't see me because I'm moving on to bigger and better things. And y'all have to start having that mentality. You got to divest yourself against the things that's not best for you. You got to start doing the things that's in your best interest and focus 100% of your energy on that. You don't have 1% of your energy to even entertain, getting mad, getting bothered by, or even substantiating somebody else feeling some time. Let them live rent-free in their head, and then you go and get more property. Live rent-free in their head. They promoting you. They making you bigger. They making you greater. They on your dick. They on your nuts. They sucking your titty. They over there sucking you off. Listen, they can't go to sleep. They can't go to sleep without thinking about you. It's not the other way around. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of them shows back in the day on Jenny Jones and Ricky Lake and all of that. And they used to come back and they used to say, oh man, you used to tease me in high school 20 years ago. Look at who I am now. And then the person over there be like, damn, I don't even remember who that is. Who are you? Be like, oh, you look nice. All right, so y'all ready to go? Thanks, Jerry Springer. Thanks, Jenny Jones. Thanks, Ricky Lake, for bringing me out here. We got a free trip. Oh, man, they don't give a fuck about you. They don't care nothing about you. They don't care about what your journey was. For the last 20 years, you've been living rent-free in their head, and you've been over here living your life. They spent their entire last 20 years for everything that they did, every waking moment, and every reason why they went to the gym, every reason why they got into the relationships, whatever it is that they did from a financial perspective, they did it with you in mind. You were their inspiration. Meanwhile, you was over here doing other things, and then they're going to be disappointed when you don't give a fuck about them and they show up on Jenny Jones and they say, look at me now. I used to be a thought. Now I'm hot. Okay. But I got kids and a family now. Like, I'm way past whatever it was that we was talking about in high school. You know what I'm saying? Live rent-free in their heads, and you keep doing what you do. You run the bag up, you never fumble the bag, and you continue to control the controllables. All that other stuff, let it fly. Let it fly. Run it up. Run it up with all of their friends that's divesting themselves against them in order to make sure that you get a bag with them. I have my girl Erica Williams, Erica's Classy Climb. I'm starting to drop the clips on that. I'm going to drop that in the Patreon tomorrow. It's literally uploaded to the Patreon. It's just scheduled to go out in the morning. And me and Erica flew to Detroit because she was here doing an event. She had a speaking engagement, right? And me and Erica, we was laughing and talking and playing. And she was like, she hit me up. She said, Anton, I'm going to be in Detroit. And this was my first time interacting with her in person. She said, Anton, I'm going to be in Detroit. Let's link up. Now, this was literally before I shot out to Tampa the very next day. I said, oh, cool. That's what's up, right? So, you know what I'm saying? I picked her up and we cooked up. We shot a lot of content inside of the studios. And then we started going over to the different properties and I was showing her the different projects that I was working on in real life, right? And so I showed her some rental properties. I showed her some bills that we had going on. I showed her all of the different stuff in the businesses. And then we were on our way to the airport and I was dropping her off. And she was just like, yo, you one of the realest people I ever met in my life. Ask her. Ask Erica Williams what her experience was like me when she came to Detroit and she seen what we was living like. When she seen what the vibes was. When she seen all of the different projects that we was running up. Then by the end of the conversation, when we was like, yo, you one of the realest, whatever, the conversation that me and Erica was having, yo, we was like, yo, let's figure out how to get money together. What we gonna do? Hey, I need to come down to where you at. I ain't about to tell y'all where she live at. If she want to tell y'all where she lived, then she can tell y'all. Hey, where you about to be at? Oh man, I'm gonna be over in that area this time. Let's link up. Hey, let's figure out how we can put some money together. We can do this. Hey, I got this going on, so on and so forth. I'm connecting with good people. I don't give a fuck about what your relationship status is. I don't care about what you got going on over there or whatever. If you good vibes and you good people, if I spend a day with you and we having this conversation and we talking about running it up, let's run it up forever. That's all I care about. Real life running it up. Shout out to Erica Williams. That's my baby. That's my girl. That's my homegirl. She be talking that talk. She really out here in the field. Shout out to Erica Williams, Erica's Classy Climb. Make sure that she about to drop an interview with me and her that we did for her channel. And then we did some stuff for mine, and I'm going to drop the stuff that we talked about inside of the Patreon. So if you're not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Also, make sure you get that Teach Henley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. I'm about to read some of these super chats, and we're going to get started with the show. But all I'm telling y'all is that y'all need to be focused on the thing that add value into your life. Anything else, discard it, especially if you're over the age of 30, you're over the age of 40. Learn the things that I didn't learn when I was in my 20s. And make the adjustment faster so that you can bypass all of the nonsense that distract you from the things that you were supposed to be doing in the first place. It is what it is, all right? Let me go ahead and rack it up. Ray is in the building. Shout out to Ray. Ray said, birthday donation, love what you do. Shout out to Ray. We appreciate you for holding it down. It's not my birthday. Ray, you donating on your birthday? My birthday is in April. Shout out for Ray for the fireball. I appreciate you. J Dubs in the building. Oh, man. Shout out to J-Dub, because I can't put a price on the value that you bring. I appreciate you, J-Dub. You didn't have to do it. I don't be asking for the super chats, but y'all just support and love what it is that we put together and how we hold each other down. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, J-Dubs. It does not go without recognizing what it is that you contribute over to this platform. Thank you, J-Dubs. You are absolutely sensational. My guy, P. Shank, says, good morning, Anton. Why do you say it can be worse to motivate you? I think the statement makes people complacent. Let me read that again. Good morning, Anton. Why do people say it could be worse to motivate you? I don't know why people, I don't understand the context. I don't understand the context. It could be worse to motivate you. You don't have to send a super chat, just send a follow-up chat and tell me, give me the context behind what you're saying before I speak to that. Oh my God, Daniel, what the hell is going on? Daniel Gordon says, I 100% agree on building. Not sure if you got my email 2 weeks ago, but it would be nice to bring you on board as an advisor and partner on a new platform. The technology doesn't exist anywhere. That's what makes us unique. I'm on Patreon too. And I think I got your email, and Mia Rita is talking about that. And so we're trying to figure out what capacity that I would be able to help you guys, because I don't want to just take resources. I got to be able to add value, and I'm trying to figure out what it is that we're going to do. So we're going to have that conversation. Shout out to you, my friend Daniel Gordon. I appreciate you for the super chat, but we did get the email, and we're going to connect with you very, very soon, and we're going to have that conversation. My thing is, I have to be able to add value. I'm not just trying to come and get no money. You know what I'm saying? So let's have that conversation so we can build that lifelong relationship, my friend. Shout out to Marcus. I appreciate you. Said, good morning, Bag Chasers. Happy Friday. Your monologues are greatly appreciated, Anton. Keep up the phenomenal work. Thank you, my friend. And then we got Sharon Compton said that came through and just dropped that fireball inside of the collection plate. We got Fight Club popping off tonight, so make sure that y'all tuned in for Fight Club. I'm gonna be on a plane back to Detroit. Before that, I should be able to land before we get to Fight Club, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the show, my people. I'll be reading super chats throughout the show. Also, shout out to Mike, that dude over there on Cash App, holding me down. I appreciate you. Let's deep dive into the show. We got a show that we got to get to. We're going to get through these subjects, and then I'm going to drop the link in the description in order for you guys to be able to cam up. Do y'all know that in one fell swoop, I had this conversation with y'all yesterday, and then people were DMing me and emailing me asking me to elaborate on what's going on. I'm about to blow y'all mind. I'm about to blow y'all mind right now. And I'm not sure what y'all algorithm is showing y'all, but the people are sending me this stuff inside of my email, and I think that it's absolutely incredible, the amount of insight and information that so many people miss that's right there at their fingertips, but their algorithm is showing them the worst things for them in order to keep them distracted. If you go on YouTube, and first thing you want to do is you want to go through all of your subscriptions, everybody that you subscribe to, and you want to unsubscribe to the things that's not relevant to you anymore because you've grown, right? And that's going to affect your algorithm. The second thing that you want to do is you want to clear your search history, you want to clear your watch history, and then you want to make sure that you start to click on and be interested in the things that's valuable to you, right? But I'm going to add the context first. So I want to have this conversation, and I want to show you a quick video. And then I'm going to bring you back around to the front of the congregation in order to help you to understand what's really going on. I have a theory about this whole migrant crisis, and I'm going to share it with you today. Shout out to all of my people on Facebook. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's really get into it.
This morning, border towns across America being pushed to the limit again. Tens of thousands of migrants crossing illegally, part of a surge that started earlier this week. Scenes like this, lines of migrants, mostly from Venezuela, crossing through barbed wire and across the Rio Grande.
They don't even care nothing about no barbed wire, fam. They're like, what is this? Oh, this is a small obstacle. We deal with this every day inside of our own hometown. Check it out. Watch this, y'all. This is absolutely going to be mind-blowing for y'all, for a lot of y'all.
Forcing Eagle Pass, Texas to declare a state of emergency.
You heard they were allowing mothers with children.
Migrants we spoke to say this surge was fueled by rumors that the border was open. This mother tells me she crossed the Rio Grande with her 7- and 2-year-old daughters, carrying them on her shoulders. But they're the lucky ones. A 3-year-old child swept away in a similar crossing on Wednesday and drowning. And just yesterday, Texas officials pulling another body from the river.
So these people think it's so meaningful. Listen, this very country these cities, this environment that we despise of so much, and we say, man, can't believe what's happening over here, systematic oppression, racism, we don't really like the police. These people are dying to get over here because they understand that the opportunities over here is substantial compared to where it is that they come from. They appreciate the opportunity. They're going to come over here. They're going to work. They're going to take care of business. They're going to be on top of things. It's going to be some criminals over here. There's going to be some people that take advantage of the opportunity. It's some people that was criminals back where they were from, and then they was over there doing egregious stuff, but they're going to make sure that they don't do it over here because they understand the opportunities and the second chances that they get. So these are the people. They're willing to cross the water. They're willing to go through the Amazon jungle. They're willing to go through alligator-infested waters, and then currents are sweeping them, and they got their 7-year-old and their 2-year-old with no daddy, they baby mamas, somebody skeeted in them and had children with them and all of this stuff, and they're willing to put them on their shoulders, and then kids is flying away, and they pulling bodies out of the river, and they're willing to go through life or death situations in order to cross over into America because there were rumors that Chicago and New York and all of these asylum seekers, they're labeled as asylum seekers, but there really is illegal immigration. But all of these people are willing to come over here just because of a rumor. They're willing to take a trek all the way over here through the Mexico border, jumping on a train. All their friends is with them and their family, and they willing to leave behind everything that they ever knew in order to change the culture over here in America. Now, why would Anton say change the culture over here in America? Well, you're going to find out today.
We know this problem had slowly been growing, but why is it so bad this week?
The facts are that the cartels control who goes where and when, and they determined that this week was the week it's going to happen.
The Biden administration now...
So you're telling me that the cartels are paying attention and they're playing the political game to decide who's going to come over and who not going to come over. You telling me all of these people that's not being vetted is coming over here into America, and the cartels is having a hand in who's going to get over here and who's not. So you listen, the cartels control everything as far as transportation and logistics coming back and forth across this border, especially down there in Mexico. And so now they're letting so many different people come in here, unvetted, probably some that's actually asylum seekers, others that's who knows God, what, where they came from, who, what, when, where, why, and how. We can't really give a hypothesis to it. But the cartels are literally controlling who gets here and who doesn't. Very interesting. Let's continue.
Sending 800 military personnel to the border to help process the arrivals.
It is a crisis. It's something that is out of control.
So Biden sent 800 military personnel. 800 military personnel. Remember when y'all said we want the federal government to come over here and stop the border flooding in here? He sent 800 military personnel, not to stop them from getting in here, but to help process them being here. Shout out to y'all. I'm definitely going to be reading those super chats shortly. I appreciate y'all. Listen to what he said. Let me rewind it for you just in case you missed it.
Something that
The Biden administration now sending 800 military personnel to the border to help process the arrivals.
He's helping to process the arrivals. They're not stopping the flood. They're not stopping the flow. They're not having conversations with Mexico. They're processing the people that are coming in here. Take a moment and hear what's being communicated to you. We're not securing the borders. We're adding administration to the borders in order to ensure that the people get processed effectively. Does this disturb you? Are you scared yet? Are you troubled by what it is that you're hearing communicated to you right now? 800 military personnel. Did y'all know that the Congress and the Biden administration is over here wrangling about a government shutdown, and that they're having budget discussions to where you're literally within a month, in less than a month, your government is possibly going to shut down because they can never even come to a conclusion and solve for the budget crisis that we're dealing with here in the United States of America. Yet we send in 800 military personnel down to the border to help process people getting in here faster and more effectively. Let's continue.
It is a crisis. It's something that is out of control.
In Eagle Pass, a town of less than 30,000, they had 2,500 illegal crossings in a single day.
So what do you need here?
Everything. We need kids' clothing, women's clothing, shampoo, hygiene items.
Valeria Wheeler runs the only shelter in Eagle Pass, and it just opened this week. With little room and few resources, most of the migrants she's helping stay for a few hours before heading to big cities like New York and Chicago, which now are also overwhelmed.
It's literally a process. You come, make the trek. The cartels control who gets in here according to what's being communicated on this video. Then after that, shout out to my girl Street in the building. Say you encourage me in so many ways. I'm making 40K more annual. Hold on. I gotta read this. Hold on. Let me just make sure that I acknowledge these super chats. And these Venmos and these Cash Apps. Says, you encourage me in so many ways. I'm making 40,000 more annually. 40,000 more annually. I cannot put her name, but I will just go ahead and put it like this. I'm making 40 bands more annually. Annually. 40 bands more annually. Oh, hold on, my bad. I'm sorry. Let me flip that over for a second. I appreciate it. Listen, this is why I don't ask for super chats. This is why I don't ask for Cash Apps. Because the people understand the value that you give to them. I ain't got to ask for nothing. They support the platform. They support the show. Let me get back to my regularly scheduled program. I appreciate you, love. Thank you for looking out for your boy.
We're a very small town. There's a lot of resources that are needed, not only for us, for the community, for the city, for the county. And this is a very, very impoverished county.
Now, largely because of the scenes of what we saw in New York City with those shelters overcrowded and Democratic leaders going from calling New York City a sanctuary city to now saying, please do not come, the Biden administration has granted nearly 500,000 Venezuelans temporary protected status, essentially letting them work legally so they can help themselves and support themselves. Some are saying this is going to help the situation in New York, but many others are saying this is going to only entice others to keep on coming.
Now, you hearing what he's saying? He said literally the Biden administration in one fell swoop has already granted the ability for them to be permanent, right? For them to be residents and for them to be able to work and take over the jobs here in America. Again, I have a theory, but before I get into that theory, I want to share with you one more clip and one more video of what's currently happening in Chicago. So this is now Chicago, okay? Let me show you what's being communicated in Chicago. You got to see this.
Well, from the mayor to the governor, officials across the state are praising President Joe Biden for the decision to grant temporary protective status to newly arrived Venezuelan migrants. The move will give them a fast track to work legally. While the news was welcomed by many, immigration advocates say there's still more work left to do. CBS 2's Andrew Ramos has more on the local reaction.
After months of sounding the alarm over the ongoing migrant crisis that has overwhelmed city agencies, some temporary relief now in sight. The Biden administration announced that it will grant nearly 500,000 Venezuelan migrants temporary protective status, which will allow them to live and work in the U.S. legally for up to 18 months. Those eligible would have to have arrived before July 31st. Cities like Chicago have long pleaded for federal help as the flow of migrants being sent from the border have inundated local resources. With Venezuelans accounting for more than a third of the 14,000 migrants currently in Chicago, the expectation is this announcement will lessen the pressure on the city, allowing these migrants to be less dependent, applying for temporary work permits, bypassing the 180-day waiting period. While advocates thank the president, they say this is an opportunity to do more.
Listen to what's being communicated. Wow, Venezuelan migrants and advocates are thanking the Biden administration for doing this. They're now saying, hey, listen, we know what you did last summer. Remember that movie? We know what you did last summer, but this is an opportunity for you to do more. You got to hear this. You got to see what's happening right now. They didn't just come over here with size 12 boots, stomping and stepping on your back. Now they've already Americanized themselves and adopted and adapted to Western culture. And what you now see happening today, and they're saying, listen, we appreciate you for doing it, but this is an opportunity for you to do more. Listen to what's about to be communicated.
It is time. We deserve work permits too.
We deserve work permits too. I've never heard such an abomination before in my life. What do you deserve? Wait. We deserve. They're protesting. They're protesting in Chicago and New York, and they're saying, listen, thank you for granting us the ability to be able to work, and we came over here with size 12 shoes, and now we deserve to be granted work permits, and we want more. We want more. They're advocating for and protesting inside of your cities, and they just got here, and they talking about what they deserve from you, the taxpayers, and from your administration and your government. Listen to what's happening right now.
We have families too.
Immigrant leaders from the Resurrection Project and a number of elected officials are calling on the Biden administration to now level the playing field and grant parole and permanent work authorization for all immigrants, including the more than 11 million undocumented.
He can do this with a stroke of a pen. We've seen it. Today is the beginning of a fight for every single one of those 11 million people.
Doth my ears deceive me and my eyes beguile me? Doth my ears deceive me and my eyes beguile me? Listen to what is being communicated. Y'all not hearing it. Y'all not getting it. Let me rewind it for you so that you really pay attention to what the hell is happening right now. It's happening right before your eyes. You're voting for your own demise. Listen to what's being communicated.
To do more.
It is time. We deserve work permits too. We have families too.
Immigrant leaders from the Resurrection Project and a number of elected officials are calling on the Biden administration to now level the playing field and grant parole and permanent work authorization for all immigrants, including the more than 11 million undocumented.
He can do this with a stroke of a pen. We've seen it. Today is the beginning of a fight for every single one of those 11 million people.
What more do you want? All I can do is present you the evidence. You got to come to your own personal conclusion. What more do you want to hear? What more do you want to hear? They're protesting for your president to do more. We deserve it. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to say? Here, I'll play a little bit more for you just so you can get it. I want you to catch the whole thing, not just half of it. I want you to catch the whole thing.
We know if we bring it to his attention, he will hear us.
Former Congressman Luis Gutierrez is taking it a step further, calling for a day of action on November 14th, where he will be part of a coalition of thousands gathering in D.C., asking the president to issue permanent work permits for millions of immigrants who remain exposed to forced removal.
They've been here 35, 40 years. We didn't do anything about it. It's not their fault anymore.
It's too early to tell what immediate impact, if any, the new TPS designation for Venezuelans will have for the city, as many of them still have to sign up and then wait to be approved.
What did you think was going to happen? What you thought that they was going to come over here and they was going to be subservient to you? You thought that they was going to look at themselves as a lower class? You thought that they was going to bow down? You thought that they was going to be comfortable with the situation that you presented? You thought that your tax dollars wasn't going to be the thing that they then use as the very weapon against you based off of how you voted and who it is that you brought into office? What did you think was going to happen? Oh, wait. I know what you thought. You thought that all of that protesting for reparations, you thought that all of those jobs that y'all left and all of that stuff that y'all said that y'all didn't want to do, and we see all of this protesting over there at the UAW, you thought that they gave a flying fuck about what you thought and that they was going to sit here and work on your behalf. And that Obama was going to come into office and he was going to do a whole lot for black people, right? And Biden was going to come into office and forgive your student loans. And with the stroke of a pen, and with the help of our military, over 800 members now deployed over into the border, are now helping to progress migrants coming into the country. And basically what I see is displacement for now creating a new voter bloc. Now creating a new power that will allow for existing legislators and business people to continue to level up and become even richer and displace the middle class even more. Oh, you thought you was special. This is my theory. I can't prove any of this. None of it can be proven unless we get some kind of legislator on a hot mic saying it. This is all based off of what I believe is happening. They're hijacking what you thought was meaningful to them because you got out there with a sign and a poster and protested. They don't care nothing about you. This is displacement at its finest. This is now creating a new superpower and making sure that they maintain power by creating an entirely different voter bloc and making sure that they make sure that the gap is widened between the haves and the have-nots. When I told you, I told your monkey ass. This is Friday. We're going to get a little bit deep in here. I told your monkey ass. I told your ass to make sure that you divest yourself against the people that's not adding value into your life. I told you to start paying attention and start making sure that you leverage the opportunities that you have in order to get richer. I told you to start making adjustments and start doing the thing that's in your best interest. I told you to pay attention to what they was telling you. I told you to come over here and subscribe over into the Patreon and make sure that you tap in to the Millionaire Morning Show on a regular basis. No, you wanted to lean into the thing. Listen, shout out to Umar Johnson. We don't even have to worry about you building a school for black people by black people. I don't care if you open up your school tomorrow. It doesn't even matter anymore. It's already happening. It's already in place. It's already taking place right before your very eyes, right up under your chinny chin chin. Congratulations. You played yourself. Congratulations. You played yourself. Congratulations to all of my liberals that voted this way to make sure that you got your student loans forgiven. You played yourself. Congratulations to all of the people that jumped on a coaching call with me and said, hey man, listen, I'm pretty sure that Biden is going to forgive student loans. Look at this new news article that came out. You played yourself. Congratulations to everybody that thought that they was going to hold on and that stimulus money was going to carry them over, but it was really just the trickle effect of what inflation was going to come in order to continue to displace you. You played yourself. Congratulations to everybody that thought that credit was meaningful and that was a thing that they had to look at in order to substantiate whether or not somebody was getting money. Didn't know that you was really becoming even more of a gamified person, or gamification was being used in order to keep you in debt and keep you displaced. You played yourself. Congratulations to everybody that thought that they was running up a bag, but they was really just listening to rappers, and they didn't even really understand how money worked, and now inflation is kicking their ass. You played yourself. Congratulations to everybody that ran over from Atlanta over to Houston and thought that they was going to make an adjustment and there was going to be more opportunity there. You played yourself. Congratulations to everybody that's protesting and everybody that's walking on those picket lines thinking that they're going to get some concessions over from the leadership over at the big three and the auto companies when Elon Musk was the one that architected this whole thing. You played yourself. Don't worry, I'm going to break that down Monday. I'm going to show you how Elon Musk masterminded the UAW to work literally on his behalf in order to make sure he got even richer. I've been putting together a super show that I'm going to probably do on Monday or Tuesday that makes sure that I help y'all to understand how y'all really getting finessed. Let's go ahead and get inside of this these super chats, and then we're going to get over into the next thing because we got a lot to cover today. KC says, good morning. What's going on, KC? What's happening? I appreciate you for tapping in. Thank you for contributing over into the platform. You always hold me down. Oh, shit. Shout out to Trey D with the 20 ball. Said I unsubbed to hundreds of irrelevant YouTube channels, especially the pro-black channels. Congratulations to you, fam. Shout out to Trey D. I appreciate you and good job, bro. Cliff Williams says migrant crisis or new working class. Both. Absolutely both. Shout out to you, Cliff. I appreciate you. Nappy Ted is in the building, says there are new Venezuelans at my job every week in Nashville. I make t-shirts. Some use fake papers and aliases. Traffic getting worse by the month. Every single month there used to not be traffic in the morning. Oh, don't worry. It's all coming around. It's all coming around circles. Shout out to Daniel Gordon in the building. Said this is done by design. A migrant crisis is manufactured, meaning it's not being taken serious by the current president because the hope is to change the culture of the U.S. to vote for America's downfall, not for its best interest. In the best interest of who? Who is America? America isn't you. America is the people that control what's going on within our environments and in our households. And it ain't y'all because y'all don't have no power. Y'all have no power whatsoever. Shout out to Daniel Gordon. You absolutely is correct. Kay Cooper said this is all to get them votes. Shaking my head, I'm disgusted. That's our theory. We can't prove that. That's all a theory, right? Cliff Williams says Maria and George coming for your jobs, and Uncle Daddy Biden is giving it to them. Listen, we need some people to come over here and do these jobs. They got to do this work, and they got to be the new voter block, right? Shout out to Chris Moore. I appreciate you. Thank you for just coming in and throwing that in a collection plate. Wealth Building Journey is in the building, says this is a manufactured crisis. We're seeing the next new permanent underclass bust in under our noses. What can you do? Y'all had the opportunity to be able to vote and do the things. Shout out to Fatty. That close the Canada border. No more criminals and bad people. Justin Bieber must be deported. Tory can stay though. Free my nigga, Tory. Shout out to Fatty in the building. We appreciate you for coming through. Hey, Fatty, you want to come over in the borders? I know you're over there in Portugal. You could just walk right in. You ain't got to worry about it. You can get your American citizenship. Oh, I forgot. The cost of living over there in Portugal is significantly lower. Shout out to Fatty for getting that bag and making sure that he running it up. I appreciate you, big dog. Blaze Skywalker with the creepy dog. Because I can't believe what I'm hearing from ungrateful criminals. Protest? Man, separate them from their kids. They better be glad I ain't president. Trump 2024. Yo, I believe that Trump is going to win the presidency more than ever now. I didn't think that he was going to be electable because I didn't think that he had the sway to be able to influence voters. But I think that the Democrats is just handing it right over into him. Unless they can figure out a way to convert all of these migrants over into voters immediately before the next election, I think that Trump is going to win by a landslide. Jacquel says Biden approved $375 million to Ukraine yesterday. Oh, my God. Whew. Privately owned prison medical facilities get government contracts for violent sexual predators, and ICE detainees. Always comes back down to the money. Listen, if y'all want to figure out what's going on out in these streets, make sure you follow the money. Shout out to Jacquel. I appreciate you. Melvin Johnson's in the building, says, go on strike might be replaced real fast. I bet you it won't be no strikes the next bargaining contract. Don't worry about it. Jose and Maria going to be in there cranking out them parts, and they're going to be a better quality than what it is that y'all's making in the UAW today. Spacer says, told you this was about cheap labor. Now I predict the Democrats will garner votes away by way of giving them citizenship. Genius when you think about it. I agree. We having less children, right? The population is not necessarily growing. Elon Musk already had the conversation with y'all and said that we need to have more babies so that we can have more of a working class. What better way to fill that up than to just let people come on in right across the border in order for them to be able to bust it down? What better way to do it? Anton is already building housing for them. Don't worry about it. I'm already in mix. Shout out to the bag chasers and the Patreon members. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. My dog Ash is in the building. Says I called it a long time ago. There will never be a Republican president. Black people, through their votes, especially black women, have sealed their fate. They will take all of your jobs. Pro-black still talking about white supremacy. They have no clue, Ash. They are so bamboozled. Listen, if y'all still being distracted by the blackity blacks, you deserve everything that you're getting. Shout out to my dog Speeds the Bee, says we gonna stroke something, but it won't be the pen. Y'all said Passport Bros is already here. No need in going overseas anymore. Brock said this is a ploy to replace the dying middle class. We'll see. Remember, it always comes back down to the money. John Doe says, I've already started cleaning up my algorithm, and I started with the president. Wink, wink. I'm tired of the same old modern woman conversations, trying to grow spiritually and mentally. Congratulations to you, my friend, for growing. Mr. Told You says, Washington warned about this. Booker T. Washington warned us about this over 100 years ago. And even if you tell people you're going to do something to them, they still going to subject themselves to it. Shout out to my dog. Persevere Data Till B says, if Miguel will do your job for less and AI can do your job for free, what do you think that they'll do with you? I could tell you exactly what they're going to do with you. I could tell you exactly, but we're going to save that. We're going to save that, big dog. Bag for Bag says, the crazy thing about this is instead of taking accountability and backtracking trying to fix it, they're going to be dancing and pouring bottles out in the club tonight because they don't care. And the only thing that they know that's going to distract you is that box that she got on her, right? Cliff Williams says, Anton, that's a fat quality will go up for cheaper. And they're going to be working for me. Shout out to all of the new migrants that's coming over. Listen, I'm going to bring y'all in. I'm going to bust y'all in. I'm going to make sure that y'all go and build these houses. Them houses going to go up fast. Kofi says, so what about those who are doing the right way? They don't care nothing about what you're doing the right way. They don't care nothing about you. It ain't about doing it the right way. They don't care about the migrants that's doing it the right way. They don't care about the citizens that's doing it the right way. Listen, if you think that the government is stupid and they don't know what's going on, I got a bridge to sell you. Shout out to my people. Look at this. Look at the Facebook people. Facebook people says, you sound like an Oreo in the world's biggest house Negro. Shout out to Matthew Smith. I got a house Negro for you. Wait on it. Listen, remember when I told y'all at the beginning of this live stream, don't entertain any of the nonsense. Just acknowledge it. Don't worry about it, big dog. I love you too. Listen. If you need a job, come holler at me, Matthew Smith. Come holler. We didn't got to worry about you, Matthew Smith. Look, I got some Venezuelans on a payroll right now that's going to take care of it. Come holler at me. I got some Venezuelans on the payroll right now that's going to take care of it. We're not even worried about you, Matthew Smith. Mr. Smith. Shout out to my Facebook people that's over here contributing. Oh, you must not know. You must not know who I am. Yeah, I'm live streaming on multiple different platforms. Don't worry about it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Facebook people, holla at me. I'm going to start bringing y'all to the front of the congregation, I promise you. Service King says, I guess I'm about to be hiring Venezuelans. Me too. Straight up. Toby says, good morning, Anton. What books do you recommend for investing? I read The Richest Man in Babylon, a few Warren Buffett books. Well, what type of Warren Buffett books did you read? Read Buffettology. It really goes into the detail or a deep dive behind Warren Buffett's investment philosophy, not just from a compounding interest perspective, but also from how it is that he starts to view diversification. So Buffettology, A Random Walk Down Wall Street, those are two books that should be able to keep you busy. Shout out to Toby. I appreciate you for the 20 ball. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to be reading Super Chats throughout the show. Let's pivot for a second because I want to jump around a little bit. Did you know that Patrick Bet-David asked Graham Stephan if he was gay? I did not know this. You guys sent me this video and I was like, what? Yo, not Patrick Bet-David questioning Graham David to his face and saying it to him. I got to see this. And before I watched it, I said, I got to be able to review this with the people. So make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Let's rock out. Tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat.
So if you have to choose which of the two things to put in school, and you have to have one of them, which one will it be? You ready for this technical question?
Yeah.
Would you rather have your kids have to learn about God and pray every morning and do pledge allegiance to the flag, but they don't get LGBTQ learning, all the different sexes and all that stuff? Or would you take God out of school and add they have to learn about what it is to be gay, lesbian, bisexual, queer, trans, and they have to know at an early age because it's part of us being free and not being discriminatory? Which of those two would you want your kids to learn about, and you have to give up the other one?
I feel like there has to be a balance.
All right, so he said, would you rather your kid be in school learning about God, or would you rather your kid be in school learning about the alphabet community and all of the things that comes along with that? That's the question. You got to pick one. Shout out to Messy Mathematician. I love that girl. I'm going to be reading her super chat shortly. You got to pick one. You can't dodge the question. You got to stand on your square. And so now, Grand Stephan is trying to contemplate the question, but he's having a conversation, okay?
Because you don't want to be oppressive, or let's say your kid is gay. You don't want them to feel like they can't be accepted and they can't.
Rebuke that devil. Rebuke that devil. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. I bind it. I bind it. I pray against it. I rebuke it. And I will do anything in my power. Listen, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in kids having freedom. I don't believe that you can choose for yourself. I don't subject myself to it. You choose what I chose for you. You will not be sassy in the pants. You will not be sassy in the pants. In my household, this is a dictatorship. This is not a democracy. I'm not trying to understand you. I am telling you what you are, and I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. And I might even tell you who you marry. I bind it in the name of Jesus.
Can't be themselves, but at the same time, there's got to be some sort of.
You got to pick one of them. You got to pick one of them. Come on, Grant.
I don't know, man. I don't.
So that's a problem. But that's a problem.
Yo, I don't know why it's so difficult to answer the question. What are you confused about? How do you not? Listen, I think it's even worse for a person to not be able to answer the question directly. Like, how can you not choose one? I'm not telling you what to choose because I believe in the freedom of speech and the freedom of thought, and for you to be able to stand on and be whatever it is. But it's very difficult. Even the Bible say, listen, either be hot or cold, but lukewarm, I spit you out of my mouth. The people in the middle get ran over. I just don't think it's manly to, I believe you answer the question and then you add the context afterwards. But how do you not be able to at least answer the question and say one or the other? And I'm not even telling you what to say. I think it's the weakest answer is to say, I don't know whether or not I want my kid to learn about spirituality or if I want my kid to learn about the alphabet community. Come on, man.
Yeah.
And the reason why that's a problem is the following thing. Are you gay?
Me? No.
Hey, I don't know who the guy is on the right, but the dude on the right immediately bust out laughing. Immediately bust out laughing. Look at their faces. Look at their faces. Hold on, let me rewind that.
Me? No.
What are you gay?
Me? No.
What do I need to do to convert you?
I'm listening.
What do I need to do to convert you into being gay?
I don't think you can.
You don't think I could convert you to being gay?
I don't think so.
Okay.
What do you mean you don't think so? Nigga, you can't convert me to being, what is that? What type of shit is that? Wait. Come on, Graham. Listen, Graham. I need you to put I know this is like shock and awe. It's very difficult for you to be able to think on the fly. But fam, what do you mean you don't think so? No, I'm a grown man. You can't tell me what to do. You can't convert me over to being nothing that I don't want to be. You can't convert me to being an atheist. You can't convert me to being gay. You can't convert me to thinking that a man is a woman and a woman. No, you can't convert me. What are you talking about? I'm a grown man. I'm not 5. I'm 45. I'm 41. I'm 35. Whatever age that Graham Stephan is. No, you can't convert me. What do you mean? I don't think so. Stand on your square, Graham.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Who converted you into getting a real estate license?
I did.
Who influenced you though? How did you learn about real estate?
Saw a TV commercial for $1 Million Listing.
Perfect.
And that kind of got in my mind.
And you were influenced to be a realtor. You weren't born with wanting to be a realtor.
Correct.
Bingo.
Yeah.
This is why I keep telling y'all that y'all have to divest yourselves against the thing that's not best for you. If you know it's not helpful for you or helpful to you, why do you even entertain it and why are you even around it, right? Because if it's not adding any value into your life, if you're not making no money from it, if you're not debating it in order to come to a better conclusion, why do you entertain it, right? Because everything that we do, whether you believe it or not, even the very language that we speak is a learned behavior. You're influenced one way or another. One of the reasons why I switched over from doing after hours, because we was doing numbers when I first started this channel, when I named it After Hours, and everything was going great. And we were doing it at night, right? We were doing it at night. We was doing a live stream at night, and it was dope. But I switched it over into the morning. And the reason that I switched it over into the morning is because I felt like it would be more conducive for your life in order for me to get you started with the day instead of having you come back to it. So if I could put into you the positivity or have you looking at things differently from a financial perspective or have some level of fun, I can get you through your day and I can help influence you in a positive way. That's why we do it in the morning instead of doing it at night. That's why I pray in the morning instead of praying at night. I don't want to give God the rest of me. I want to give him the best of me and then let that inspire me and influence me as to what it is that I'm going to do throughout my day. That's why we do it in the morning, right? But everything that we do is a learned behavior. He was inspired to get into real estate because he seen a commercial and then that left an impression on him, which then fostered his ability to be able to create this environment that he's thriving in and he's becoming super successful in today. Masterful. Patrick Bet-David is masterful. He's basically saying that what you do is a learned behavior, which also feeds into the idea that everything is propaganda and everything has an agenda attached to it as far as what a greater purpose of why it is that they put it inside of your face. Pay attention.
Did you get it? Let me explain to you what I mean by this.
Sure, please.
So, stats came out that shows which generation is the gayest generation of all. That's part of the LGBTQ community. Do you think you care more about what I think at this age or when you were 14 years old?
Definitely 14.
No problem. Me too, right? So do you think it's easier to convert you in a way of thinking at 14 or 33?
14.
Of course, right? Okay. I became a Christian because somebody talked to me about it. I got into insurance because somebody influenced me to get into insurance, okay? I got into bodybuilding because I was influenced by Arnold Schwarzenegger. I went to Santa Monica Community College because I was influenced because that's where Arnold went. Influence. Somebody influenced you, right? 4 generations, 5 generations. Traditionalist, you got the boomers, millennials, Gen X, and you got Gen Z. You ready? Traditionalist, 0.8% of are gay. 0.8% of traditionalists are gay.
So 0.8% of people from an older generation identify as gay. All right? Patrick Bet-David is basically saying, listen, you are influenced in everything that you do, inspired influence, whatever way that you want to operate. We believe for years that Puffy over the last 15, 16 years owns Ciroc, and that influenced us to drink it when most of us don't even know what a good vodka tastes like. Most of us don't even know what a good vodka tastes like. That's where they're called influencers. You know what I'm saying?
Boomers, 2.6%. Then you go to 5%. Then you go to 10%. You know what percentage of Gen Z identifies as LGBTQ? 21%.
Is that true? Almost 1/4 of Gen Zers are identifying as gay, where 0.8% of traditionalists are. Whoa. You telling me almost a fourth of people are identifying as gay in Gen Z? But then we want to have a conversation talking about, well, you can choose to be whatever it is that you want to say. Look, man, it's in the music, it's in the books, it's on social media. You got it's based off of the people that you follow. It's in the videos that y'all watch on these unsavory sites behind the scenes. It's in all of it. If you don't think that it's playing a role and it's influencing you to do whatever it is that you're doing, then you're super naive. Patrick Bet-David is absolutely right.
21%. So who do you think cares less about what you and I think, traditionalists or Gen Zs? Traditionalists.
Yeah.
You think if you and I are 70 years old and we're gay, do you really think you and I care about what other people think?
Nope.
What do you think?
Nope.
No. You're coming out. You ever seen a grandma or grandfather drop F-bombs and it's like, get your butt out of my... Because that, listen, I'm 10 years away from living and dying. Like, I don't give a shit what you think about me. But if 21% of Gen Z is gay, they're being influenced just like you were influenced to be a realtor, just like I was influenced to go into SMC. Influence. That's a problem. So the fact that you, a very smart guy, a super successful guy at your age cannot tell the two apart, that means you're not really putting a lot of thought into what's going to influence who.
Or maybe he's just easily influenced, and that he don't really have a position, because some of y'all said it in the chat. Maybe Graham is just trying not to get canceled. Canceled by who? One of the benefits of being rich and having resources is that you can start to free yourself a little bit more of what you think is going to happen to you by doing the thing that's best for you, and then being able to speak the truth, right? So, I don't know. Let's continue.
God, faith, that's going to influence you to do what? Complete different thing.
Don't you think that some of that, though, is a bit of that overall people are on somewhere on a spectrum? And if you're, let's say, a 2 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10, that maybe you're more open about that, whereas in other generations you weren't. And perhaps it's somewhere in the middle.
No, I think LGBTQ is a religion. And you choose which religion you want to be in front of your kids. Okay? You choose, if a person is gay, you're eventually going to be gay. You're going to be gay. You're not going to be, if you're going to do what you're going to do. Like, for example, I interviewed a guy who was a negotiator, FBI agent, who would sit down with people that killed, that were, murderers that killed their own family members. And I said, so what gets somebody to get to the point of wanting to do something like this? And he explained how there's a difference between what you're born with, what you're influenced with, and then to take the action, right? There are some people that are born who are dark human beings, period, that they enjoy it. They're born that way. If you look at the Iceman, I don't know if you've ever seen interviews of the Iceman. Have you ever watched interviews of Iceman?
Yeah.
That guy is cold, and he enjoyed what he did. What percentage of the world is like that? What would you?
Yeah, I agree in a general sense. There's no point in continuing to go into this. I believe that everybody, he asked him if he was gay in order to prove a point to say that, it's very difficult to influence somebody that's older, but our younger people are much more impressionable with the things that they take in on a regular basis. And so as a result of it, then we have to be very, very careful of how these agendas are starting to influence them, because it's in our schools, it's in everything. And so we need to start being very mindful of what we subject our children to. And I can't stand when people say stuff like, well, what you do at home, or all of this stuff. Look, if your children are in school 8 hours of the day, if the majority of the time that your children, right, are being influenced by things that's outside of your household, why do you think that it's so important for us to start voting the way that we vote, for us to be influenced the way that we influence? And then you got to undo and redo all of the things that they see and they program for, and you going to work every day and all of this stuff. That's why most people are starting to homeschool their children. Most people are starting to move in a completely different direction. I'm not sure if it's a financial incentive that comes along with it, if it's an agenda. Again, I have a theory, but I won't speak on it because I can't prove it right now. But absolutely, positively, especially if you want to start shaping the narrative of what's going on, you have to start very early. For you guys and you adults, the most of you people that came in and is watching the Millionaire Morning Show right now, right? It's over 1,700 people of y'all. The likes is incredibly low. I see the super chats. I'm about to read those shortly, right? For most of the people that's here, hold on, let me see something. Who is Kevin? Kevin. No, let Kevin rock. I don't see nothing that Kevin is saying crazy right now. We don't want to be in an echo chamber. We want people that have differences of opinion inside of the chat. So do not do anything to Kevin. Let Kevin rock out. As long as nobody is being disrespectful as far as calling somebody else a crazy name or talking about somebody's kids or wife, then just let them rock out. We don't want to be in an echo chamber. We don't want to be in a space where people can't express their opinions. I want people that have differences of opinions. I want people to say things that they really feel. I don't want people to be censored as a result of it. As long as everybody is remaining respectful and they're not calling somebody a name or they're not disrespecting somebody, then let them rock out. My minds is on top of it. They cool. They're not tripping about it. As long as they're not talking negatively or crazy or they accusing somebody of doing something that they didn't do, then let them rock out. If y'all don't want to pay attention to what Kevin is talking about, then just don't pay attention to him. Don't respond to him. But let these people that's in the chat that have a difference of opinion, let them say and think and believe what they want to believe, because we want to have foster good conversation. And I don't always just want people that agree with me. I want people that may see things differently, because that may influence me to start looking at things a little bit differently, right? So it's healthy. It's healthy debate. It's healthy conversation. Let them people rock out. Don't be censoring nobody. The only thing that we want to make sure that we do is to make sure that we keep it cool and cordial to where there's no level of high disrespect that comes along with it, all right? So everybody know, Ma's got it. They good. We straight. Let Kevin rock out. But I do think that we have to, if you want to get to somebody or you want to influence culture, then you have to get to the kids. You can't necessarily get to the adults. A lot of people that came in here, a lot of people that first started, that are here now, that's watching this show, that watch this live stream on a regular basis, they didn't like me when they first met me. They didn't like the way that I talked. They didn't like that I was so abrasive. They didn't like that I said what I said and I stood on what I stood on. But so many different people that's a part of the Patreon today, that's making a lot of money, that's getting influence, that I fixed their relationships, that now rock with me. It's so many people that now say, yo, I didn't like you when I first met you. The overwhelming majority of y'all say, I didn't like you when I first met you, but it doesn't change what it is that it, how it is now. So for grown people, they have to see it for themselves. For young people, they can be influenced. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty interesting. I thought that was a really good clip. Let me move over into one more thing, and then I'm going to drop the link in the description for y'all to be able to cam up. If you have any disagreement with me whatsoever, you do not have to be on camera. You do not have to cam up. You can if you want to. I am going to drop the link in the chat for y'all to be able to tap in and say whatever it is that you want to say to me, no matter what it is, right? And then I'm going to meet whatever energy that you have. If you over here on some G stuff and you cool, I'm rocking with you. If you disagree with me wholeheartedly, we can have that conversation too. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat. But there's one more thing that I want to share. Let me get these super chats acknowledged first. Reem Beam says, F the FBA, let's take it to the streets, man. Don't get arrested, though. Shout out to my girl, Messy Mathematician says, I'm not late. I'm on the Lord's time. You know you late. You know you late. Shout out to Messy Mathematician, but I love that girl anyway. Paul, the True Believer, says, yo, Anton, I love the topics and conversation on the the Millionaire Morning Show, but I know what you're talking about. Do you think we can step up the level of intelligence and conversations on the Monday night show? Listen, Monday night is Monday night, and Monday night be going up. We be having a good time on Monday night. Monday night is Monday night, and Q is running that. So I have no influence and no control on what happens on Monday night. I was talking to Q yesterday, and we thinking about doing some stuff on Instagram or YouTube on Thursday night. But I keep y'all posted on that. I got to make sure that I get my time together. Shout out to Paul, the True Believer. Service USA said likes are trash. Time for y'all want to go to the Teach? Y'all think we should go to a Teach break? I don't know, Service. Carrie baby in the building says, whenever I start to question if I'm doing the right thing by homeschooling my kids, combos like this reaffirm my decision to do it. Shout out to Carrie. And I think that Carrie was on time today. So shout out to my girl, Carrie. I love Carrie. I think that Carrie is one of the most awesome human beings that I've ever seen in my entire life. Carrie is literally the definition of a woman that y'all would want to marry. But Carrie is married, so make sure that y'all stay out of that. Carrie is married. Shout out to my girl, Carrie. I appreciate you, baby girl. Daniel Gordon is in the building, says, I know you see all of the shows. Movies all pushing an agenda. Example, all masculine black men are gay or trans, while you two masculine guys are straight and black women are with the white guys. It's a narrative and it's all connected. I'm going to have to think about that. John Doe is in the building, says, if you want to enter the kingdom of God, you have to pick a side. You can't straddle the fence. You either rock with Jesus Christ or you rock with Satan. I agree with that 100%. It's the people that's on the sidelines that's going to get ran over. Enforcer 2K9 says it's called Gen Z for a reason. It's the end of the alphabet, and if enough of this Gen Z joins the alphabet, there won't be anything after Z. That's a pretty clever way to put it. Pretty interesting. I appreciate y'all. I rock with y'all. Let me make sure that I go over to this last thing, and then I'm going to drop the link in the chat. So Anthony O'Neill, right? I haven't reacted to something like Anthony O'Neill in a while, simply because it just hasn't been on my radar. You guys haven't sent me anything from Anthony O'Neill. So it hasn't been worth, you know what I'm saying, going to search it out. Like, I don't just go and search out this stuff in order to react to. But Anthony O'Neill was supposed to be a money guy, largely came up at a time when Dave Ramsey was blowing up. and he was riding that wave, and so apparently he divested himself against that, and he moved on cordially in a different direction because Anthony O'Neill wanted to talk about more than just money. Anthony O'Neill used to be on Clubhouse a lot. He has a lot of conversations about relationships. Why? I have no clue whatsoever. He doesn't seem poised, or his ability to even be able to communicate about relationships is subpar and substandard. His mindset when it comes to finances and resources, you could probably have a completely different conversation about that. Shout out to him for his success. But as far as when it comes to relationships, I think that Anthony O'Neill is a simp in a general sense. Before I even watch this video, before I even, see what's happening, I think that Anthony O'Neill is largely a simp. The stuff that I've seen from him previously, I think that he is a simp. But Anthony O'Neill is reacting to what he's seen Tyler Perry say. And I'm curious as to what this is because you guys sent it to me. Let's see what's happening.
So probably disagrees with Tyler Perry.
A lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job, and is a good man, and is good to you, and honors the house, and honors his wife, and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay.
I want to say this up front.
I'm gonna drop the link in the chat for y'all to be able to cam up. But cam up if you have a disagreement with me. If you do not have a disagreement with me, and it could be about anything, it could be anything that happened throughout the week, it could be anything that's going on today, then cam up, or you don't have to cam up. You can join the live stream, or you can just call in. I will not put you on unless I get your permission. But however, if you have a disagreement with me, prepare to come on the live stream if you want to.
That I love and I honor this man and what he's done, and how he has impacted the community and the culture. But he says some things that I do believe that a woman should first seek a man with character, with integrity, honest, loving, charming, charisma, and God-fearing.
I didn't hear all of that in the clip, but okay, let's continue.
But I do want to talk about this, that I do disagree. I do disagree from the standpoint of, how do I say this? If a man doesn't have his foundation taken care of, then that man should not be focusing on dating. We see that nearly, I would say, studies came out recently that revealed that 9% of all American men will make about $100,000 or more within the calendar year of 2023.
Okay.
Now, that's all American men. So that means married and single. So about half of those guys are going to be married. So this means 4% out of all the men in America will make over $100,000 in income, when the average household income is going to be right at about, I'll say about $60,000. Only
$67,000, but let's continue.
34% of household incomes will be over $100,000. So from his perspective, I hear what he's saying. Like, hey, listen, Queen, if you meet a man who's God-fearing, got character, has integrity, has a decent job, has a career that he's passionate about, and his career field, like a school teacher, may not be as financially lucrative as your career field, lawyer, doctor, nurse, per se, right? That's a good catch. That's a good man, because he's operating within his purpose. He's operating within his assignment of the world. The man is going to save. The man is going to invest. He's going to be a good steward over his income. That's a solid man. And when you really step back, you guys, when you really step back and do the research, when you look at accountants, when you look at school teachers, these are the individuals who are becoming self-made millionaires. Well, how is that, Anthony? They're only making $60,000. They're only making $70,000. Well, it's because they're living below their means and they're investing 15% of their income. They're investing it into a 401k.
Okay, I don't disagree with anything that he's saying so far. So I'm trying to figure out where he has a problem with Tyler Perry, but we're gonna get there.
Investing it into a 403B. They're investing it into a mutual fund. They're investing it into an HSA account. They're saving and not overspending their income. But here's where I disagree. In his comment, and I know Tyler Perry, and I'm always attacked about the things that I say, and I want to be very, very mindful of how I say this, because I do believe, however, there is a point in life to where if a man can only pay the electricity bill, I don't know if that's the right man for you.
First of all, Tyler used that as an example in order to illustrate an extreme picture that he was painting, right? He said, listen, if a woman is getting to the bag, right, and she's incredibly successful, and she doesn't need him to pay anything, but he winds up taking on something just because he wants to contribute, because that's just the nature of a man, right? And this is why we have to pay attention and listen to people in their entirety. You want to listen to a little bit before and a little bit after. The context is that a woman that is making a significant amount of money shouldn't forego a great man just because of finances if that's not something that she actually needs in her life in order to continue to sustain her lifestyle. It wasn't about the light bill itself. It was about the idea that he continues to exhibit man qualities and man characteristics. And he added the context. He said, listen, as long as he can take you out, and show appreciation, and he's living in his purpose and all of this other type of stuff, based off of the dynamics of what we consider relationships to be today, it's a different perspective and a different narrative of how you need to be seeking companionship and building a legacy with somebody that has great character versus the person that's just getting to the bag. All right. And just because a woman is making a lot of money, man, let me school y'all for a minute. Just because a woman is making a lot of money don't mean that she keeping a lot of money. Just because a woman is getting to the bag don't mean that she don't have a bunch of debt. Just because a woman is living in her purpose as far as what it is that she does for a living doesn't mean that she understands how money works. Just because a woman make more money than a specific guy don't mean that her net worth is as high as his. Don't mean that she don't have student loans. Don't mean that she not messing it up and blowing it. Don't mean that it's a smaller window by which she'll make that money and he has a much, much longer runway in which he'll be 10 times more successful than her because A, he understands how money works. B, he understands exactly how it is that you need to be allocating your resources. And C, he can give her a vision and help her to understand that that thing that you're making right now may not necessarily be forever. And so then that's when that character, right? That's when that good charisma, him being able to communicate effectively with her. That's when that love, that's when that tough love, right? That's when that thing that she actually needs and that masculinity kicks in because he can guide her into being the woman that she's supposed to be because he can give her what she needs in order to leverage her gifts more effectively. And it's not just defined by money. And so this is why you have to have people that are successfully married giving you insight and information on how it is that you're supposed to move in your relationships because it has nothing to do with his ability to be able to make money and pay a light bill. It has everything to do with his ability to be responsible, live in his purpose, also add value into your life, and then give you a vision by which you can execute to become a better version of yourself because that's the true purpose of leadership. That is how you move as a man when it comes to leadership. Having yourself together is not just getting into the bag. When we call each other bag chasers over here in the Millionaire Morning Show, right? Over in the Patreon. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. When we call ourselves bag chasers, we use that as a term, but that's not necessarily how we're defined. And I say it all the time. Bag chasing is making sure that you're chasing the best version of yourself, understanding that the money comes with it. Would you leave a man that's broke, that's down on his luck, that went through something, but he also exhibited hard work, good character, doing it the honest way, making sure that it could just be circumstances that happen. Everybody goes through something where they go through a down period, right? But that doesn't define whether or not she's supposed to stick around in a relationship. That's the time that she's supposed to hold him down the most. She may be making more money at the time because whatever is happening in that specific industry at that time, he may have gotten displaced. I've seen a lot of people get displaced during the pandemic. Didn't mean that he was going to be in that position forever. Didn't mean that he didn't give her the vision. Didn't mean that she didn't know how or she did know how to manage the finances and the resources effectively. Some people just are good at their talent, but they're not necessarily good at making money and being able to manage it, right? And so you have to start talking a little bit differently to the people that understand it. It doesn't matter if you agree with it or not. Do you have the understanding to even have this conversation in the first place? See, when I hear people like this talk, it tells me that they have no clue on how it is that you're supposed to operate in your purpose as far as relationships are concerned. You have no level of masculinity. It's all simping. It's all simping. And so when I look at people like this talk, it baffles me. It very much baffles me. But let me hear the rest of what he got to say.
If a woman can only pay her electricity bill, I don't know if that's the right woman for me. Because it's not really more so about the amount of money that they're making. It's about what's their mindset to money. How do they think when it comes to money? Do they get their paycheck on Friday and they spend it on hair, they spend it on haircuts, they spend it on clubs?
What does this have to do with a man? What does this have to do with what Tyler? I'm gonna let him cook. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat for y'all to be able to come up here if y'all got any disagreements.
And drinking and eating out. When they get money, how does their brain react to money? And if a man in his 30s and a man in his 40s can only pay the electricity bill, we have a problem.
I'm gonna let him cook, and then we're gonna come back.
If a man can only buy McDonald's dinner, we have a problem. If a man cannot take care of his four walls, these are the things that are very, very important to just any human being, really. Any human being. If a man cannot take care of his apartment, of his mortgage, or his rent payment.
I'm about to pin this to the top of the chat.
A man cannot take care of solid transportation to get him to and from work. If a man cannot put food on his table, and if a man cannot keep his utilities on, that man should not be focused on trying to find a wife, because it's just going to make the situation worse. I'm not saying.
Let me ask you a question, Anthony. Let me use a different example, right? Because I don't think he knows what he's talking about at all, but I'm going to use a completely different example. Should people get married, or should people marry their high school sweetheart? Should women or men get married at 18, 19 years old? Should people get married when they're in college, right? Should they get married before they rack up a whole bunch of bodies and they start doing a thing that's not in their own best interest? If they're still a college student, but they're going towards wherever it is that they're supposed to go, should they get married, or should they still be able to do whatever it is that they want to do until they get themselves together? I'm just curious. Do men want women that then eventually get their lives together when they're 30 and 40 years old, when they finally get into their career, but they completely taint it when it comes to how it is that they're supposed to operate in society? Do men even look at how much money a woman makes in order to determine whether or not she's a wife? Because he's conflating the two now. I'm just asking questions. I just pinned it to the top of the chat. Y'all more than welcome to be able to come up here if you have a disagreement with me. Only if you have a disagreement with me. Don't worry about it. We gonna get there.
That a man needs making six figures. I had the opportunity to sit on the panel with Sarah Jakes.
Are men that only make six figures the ones that's supposed to get married?
On this past weekend at Woman Evolving, man. And
what if he moves over from Ohio and he's comfortable over there and he sells his house and they decide to go over and take advantage of an opportunity over in New York because that's where a job is taking her, and they don't have any kids to displace or anything like that, so he makes the adjustment until he decides to do something a little bit differently, right? What if he put her through school in order for her to then, you know what I'm saying, he made a capital investment in her and put her through school in order for her to get to certain levels, and then now it's his turn to make the adjustment because they don't necessarily need his salary in order for them to maintain a lifestyle for him to then go and pursue whatever it is that he's supposed to pursue. Does that count? Right? Don't worry about it. We're going to continue to cook.
Ask me a question. What's wrong with us men? You know, why are we always chasing wealth and skipping over good ladies? And I had to apologize because I was that guy that was focused on trying to make six figures. Got to six figures. Oh, let me get $500,000. Got to $500,000. Oh, let me get to $1 million. And throughout this whole time, I missed out on finding me an asset. I missed out on finding my favor because I was chasing the bag. There is a time and a place to where a man should be able to take care of himself, the basic necessities of himself. If a man can't pay his utility bills.
Do you know what's so funny about this whole situation? I remember when I went broke in 2007, 2008 recession. And I moved back into my mother's basement. I was married. I had a daughter on the way. My daughter was born in the beginning of 2008. And I was one of the hardest workers that there was, right? And I had 2 jobs, and I wound up going to school full time or whatever like that. I took a sales job because it really wasn't nothing here in Detroit. And then I went to school, and then I wound up getting a call center job, and I would do my homework on the call center job, and then I would do the sales job. But anyways, I was grinding and I was hustling. And I told my girl, I said, listen, we not going to be like this for very long. We moving in a completely different direction. We started getting so much money and the assets was blowing up, and we never took away from what it is that we invested in, but we was willing to let everything go because we didn't want our assets and our nest egg that we had put into place to be affected by what was going on in a recession. And so instead of continuing to do that type of stuff, we decided to all combine our forces and move all into the household together and then continue to go from there. Fast forward to today, my mother has nothing to worry about for the rest of her life. Her mother has nothing to worry about for the rest of her life. If I had made the adjustment based off of the things that Anthony O'Neill is saying right now, then is no way that I would be in the position that I'm at for the rest of my life. Because a lot of times guys simp out and they do things for the approval of the general public or for women based off of the fact that women are saying these same talking points instead of looking at the vision and the potential of what a guy has. That's why you see women often at times marry earlier in other cultures versus people are doing what they want to do in the black culture that's not conducive for our lifestyle. That's why so many women are baby mamas. That's why everybody is single going into their 30s and 40s and saying that the dating pool is tainted, right? Because now it doesn't stop people from doing what they want to do as far as sexually or anything like that. But what it actually does is it prevents you from being with the person that you were supposed to be with in the first place because you probably passed up on him. That man ain't going to be in that space forever. He absolutely is not going to be in that space forever. If you ask any woman today that is still in the dating market, that may be a baby mama or not, or may be successful, and you ask him, and I ask him all the time, right? I say, listen, you probably passed up on a man that you already should have married. 100% of the time they say yes. Sometimes even when they marry. They say, yeah, I should have married that other guy.
That's a man who should not be looking for marriage at this moment. If a man cannot take care of rent, if he's bouncing from home to home, this man needs to get his foundation in order so this brother can be a strong leader. And so I agree with Tyler Perry. If he can cover those 4 things and he's in a good career, he loves God, man, he's only going up. That man is only going up from there. That man is only going to be a better man. That man is the man you need to be with because he has character, because he has integrity, and because he loves God. And when you put those 3 things together, that's a fruitful man. That is a man that is going to live below his means. That is a man that is going to steward his income well. That is a man that he is going to use all the gifts and his talents and the talents that he has inside of him to generate wealth, to generate financial freedom. That is a man that's going to listen to my podcast. He's going to listen to Earn Your Leisure. He's going to listen to, the Dave Ramsey Show. He's going to read books. He's going to continue growing and evolving so he can be a leader and a provider and a protector for his home. And so I agree with Tyler Perry from that one perspective. But here's where I gotta disagree. Just because he has good character doesn't mean that you overlook the basic necessities that every human being should be able to do, especially in their 30s and 40s and 50s. There's no way in the world I'm signing off on my daughter to go marry a 35-year-old man who bouncing from house to house. That I don't care how he comes in his house. I don't care how he greets me. I don't care how he shakes my hand, and I don't care how much he say he love you. If he's struggling,
coming from a man that ain't married and don't have no kids, I got you.
And paying rent, and watch this, y'all. Let me say this. I'm not saying okay, he lost his job.
Let me tell you something. You know what I teach my daughter? And this is the God's honest truth. My daughter will never need or want for anything financially for the rest of her life. That's the way that I set it up. I fully expect to pay for her wedding. I fully expect to give her a house to live in once she gets married, when she decides that they wanted to move out of our house, because it's a strong possibility that I'm gonna build a fucking fortress that allows for my daughter and her family, if they decide that they want to be able to live with us in their own wing for the rest of their life. I'm purchasing land to do that now. She's 15 years old, and literally I plan on building a master palace over the next 2 to 3 years once I start to break through and I break ground for construction, right? I fully expect to pay for my daughter's wedding. I fully expect for her to not have any student loans. I fully expect her for probably work for me and be a steward of the company, and also pass down all of the resources and things that come along with being my daughter, right? Also plan to gift her the house that hopefully they start their family in and all of that stuff, right? Here's the thing. The thing that I teach my daughter is to look for a person with a great moral compass that's going to treat you right, that is loving, that is humble, that is equally yoked when it comes to great character and the love of God. And I also tell her to never, ever talk about or have a conversation about how much money your dad got or how much money you got or what it is that you're looking for. Look for the spirit. Look for a person that loves the things that you love. Look for a nerd. Look for a dude that's in anime. Look for a guy that likes to hang out and spend time with his family and friends, that do positive things, that don't get caught up, that don't want to be a part of club culture, that's not influenced by what it is that, is saying in rap music and all of those type of things. I'm not sitting here and having no conversation with my daughter to talk about looking for a guy with the bag. She not under duress. That's not what she has to look for. Listen, y'all can grow into y'all greatness. Y'all can grow, and as long as you in a gym shooting with that man, that's all that matters, right? You got the safety net. Now you have the ability to be able to look at things that's outside of what these normal everyday hoes is looking for. I'm teaching my daughter to look at the heart, the character of a person. That's going to carry you and keep you for the rest of your life. The bag is temporary. You're going to go through ups and downs. You're going to have losses. You're going to have wins. It's going to be situations. It's going to be, but are you a good person? That's the thing, right? That's the thing that I teach my daughter. So y'all keep teaching y'all daughter to go and look for the person with the bag. I'm going to teach my daughter a little bit differently.
And he's bouncing back. I get that. I'm talking about if his fruit is he's never been able to establish himself financially to cover his four walls, that is evident that we have a bigger issue on hand. We have a much bigger.
I could teach that young bull on how to get the bag. I can put him in a position of power. I can teach him how to run the company. Right? You know what I'm saying? I can make him a part of what it is that we building together. The one thing that I can't change is work ethic. I can't change character. I can't change whether you're a good person. I can't change whether or not you're going to do the right thing when nobody else is looking. I need to know that you got a good heart. I need to know that you're going to treat her right. I don't care about all of that other stuff. Right? I'm setting the foundation. Now I'm going to put you in a position to be successful. If that's what you want to do.
Issue on hand. It's not just an income problem. It's not just he lost his job problem. That's a mentality problem. And that mentality is a scary thing because you don't want that mentality to come over to you. So I'm curious, what's your thoughts? Do y'all 100% agree with Tyler Perry? Like ladies, brothers, comment. Like, do y'all understand what I'm saying? I go on record and say this. I've said this several times. I believe every man should be striving to make at least 6 figures. I think every man should be striving to make at least 6 figures. You may have a job making $55,000 a year, but how can you make $45,000 on the side with your business, with your hobby, with something that you're passionate about? How can you go from making $3,000 a month to making $8,333 a month? How?
This is so stupid, man.
What can we do as men? Man, these sisters, I was just in the building and saw 40,000 ladies evolving. I saw 40,000 ladies learning, and Sarah was teaching financial literacy. She was talking about therapy and being whole and healing from past trauma. Like, I'm seeing these ladies cry and cry out to God and healing and coming in there to get the information so that they can grow. And I'm like, yo, brothers, we got to do the same thing. These ladies can't come to us and they got the basic stuff covered, and we over here talking about, but I got a good character. I got a good heart. Character and heart don't pay the bills. Now,
this is dumb. Looks like nobody disagrees with me. If you want to have a conversation or you disagree with me, it's literally thousands of y'all in the chat. You're more than welcome to be able to come up here. You do not have to get on camera. Somebody said, Anton, you said you had to remove people voluntarily from your coaching program due to their own issues and lack of motivation. I'm confused by your response. If anybody has a question, listen, you are more than welcome to be able to jump up on a live stream. I got a few minutes before I got to get out of here. I'm going to read a couple of these super chats, and then we're going to rock out from there. Give me a second. Brittany Berman is in the building. Shout out to Brittany. I appreciate you. Says, thank you for all of your advice. I am no longer a teacher. I'm not in the cybersecurity world for an oil and gas company. I'm in the cybersecurity world for an oil and gas company. You are making a difference. Can we get a round of applause for you? Can we get a round of applause for you? Shout out to Brittany. I appreciate you. Shout out to the baby girl for running it up. Mr. Hillel says, I'm so tired of this fake narrative. Black men make more money than our women, and there are zero demographics where women as a whole make more than men. Facts. I don't know where they keep getting this from, Mr. Hillel. I agree with you 100%. Shout out to you. Brock says he sounds just like Hafiz, the reincarnation. Maybe he trying to take up that mantle. What up, Khalil's in the building, says, I wish AO stick to financial advice. Blake Neo 1 Gibbs says, what up, time? Been going for a minute. Have you talked about the Papoose and Remy? I have. I talked about it on the other channel. I don't really talk about it on the Millionaire Morning Show. Shout out to you, Blake Neo. I appreciate you, and welcome back. Welcome back. Let me bring up Mr. Lino, baby. Let's do this. Give me a second. I'm not going to put you on camera right away. I'm going to make the adjustment. Mr. Lino, baby. What up, though?
Yo, what up, Tom Dog?
What's going on, my friend? How you feel?
Man, I feel good on a Friday, getting to the cheese, like you say. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You want to be on camera? It's up to you. Let me know.
Yeah, go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
You know, I'm a superstar, Tom Dog. I ain't scared to show my face on nothing.
All right. What's happening? What's the word? What's your thoughts?
I have a mentor question, but I have the controversial one. I think you're opposed to it, but what do you think about like polygamy within America? Would you recommend that for the for the average black man or that's trying to get to the next level? Would you like recommend that, or you rather them have that one spouse?
I'd rather people figure out how they can manage one before they trying to figure out how to manage 100 or manage 2. If we can't even get people to figure out how to manage one person in a relationship, what makes you think that adding more into it is going to be the solution?
Well, I believe, I think just I ain't trying to get like people mad at me or something, but I just think the modern woman right now, I think they're hard to manage. Period. So what
does that have to do with polygamy?
Well, what I'm thinking is like go somewhere else to get wives, I would say. But
why is there an S? I don't understand the S part. The wives. What is the S part?
Because with me, I'll just be honest. I've never been able to just be with one. So it's
like, you gotta dig.
I don't even see myself.
So you got a dig discipline problem, and it ain't got nothing to do with it. Yeah. See, listen, the idea about having more than one wife, that speaks to more than just. It's not supposed to be about sex. It's supposed to be about something other than sex, right? Most of it is based off of how you manage a household more effectively by having more people do more things that's actually conducive to what it is that you're trying to build. Don't have nothing to do with sex. The sex is the residual the residual effect of being able to have more than one person. But it wasn't supposed to be anything based off of sex, right? It was supposed to be based off of children. It had everything to do with producing in a household, right? This person is doing this. Right. This person is running a farm, so on and so forth. But you talking about your lack of dig discipline.
No, I wasn't. I wanted like a community. I want a big family. I don't even.
But you said that no, that's not what you said. You said I have a problem with just being with one. That don't have nothing to do with nothing that as far as having a household more than one person in it.
I mean, I'm saying, yeah, throughout my 20s, I had a main, a couple little things, but it wasn't the ones I actually like loved. That I feel like I loved. It wasn't about the sex. You know what I mean?
Yes, it was.
I don't believe that. Like, I truly love like two women at one time. I feel like you could do that, but I'm saying I do want a big family though. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if
Is
they
it a
don't
limit
even
to how many
want?
kids the girl that you're gonna be with can have or something?
Nah,
So what you talking about?
I don't think they gonna want like 5 kids like me. I want like a basketball team. You feel me?
Then get with a woman that want 5 kids. I don't really understand what the problem is. You just trying to make an excuse for why you can have more than one chick. Listen, if you want to fuck more than one chick, then just do that. You ain't even got to get married to do it. Just keep it real. What do you need more? What do you need more than one chick? I mean,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, why do you need to justify why you want to be with more than one woman? Why don't you just be with more than one woman and don't get married? I don't understand.
What?
Who's forcing you to get married?
I mean, because really nobody. But I mean, that's you still want a family dynamic in my household. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to just be with women. Like, I want to still have a settle down moment. You feel me? Like,
So you want your cake and eat it too?
I still want. Yeah, I would say that.
I would say that you probably are disillusioned and you don't have dick discipline.
Damn. Well, I ain't really like messing with nobody right now. I'm trying to get to the money. You know what I mean? Trying to build. I'm finally like at a space where, all right, I'm cutting them out and I'm focused on me to run up the bag and set my life up for the next 20. That's what my mindset is right now.
What that got to do with you get busting down these hoes?
Because like I just feel like that right now I'm not on that. I'm saying like I just wanted to see what you thought about like, you know, having more than one wife. You know what I'm
Do you
saying?
think I should have more than one wife?
I'm not in that space where either I think you could.
Should I?
If I'd say if you want a bigger family, yes, but nah, not really. If you the way you make your marriage sound, it's like too blissful to even like I guess
So
mess
why
up. But
can't you?
I
Hold
would
on, wait.
say,
You just answered your own question. Why can't you do the same thing? I'm trying to understand.
like I said, I've never had the desire just to be with one woman though. Like just marry her and then be like, no, that's and then like I said,
So
it
why is
ain't
it different
about
for you than it is for me though? Why should you? Why is it different for you?
I, I feel like all right, Eric King should have that. Like
Should
I
have what?
the should have the world at, the oyster, whatever they say. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have the
The world
kings,
should
they
be
can
my
have what they
oyster.
want. You can have the world should be your oyster because you amassed a certain amount of status and money and riches and a good dude and all that. So yeah, that I feel like Eric King deserves that. And
You think I should
I
call
don't
her
think
and
that
ask
makes
her?
a man a bad person or nothing. Huh?
Want me to? You think I should call Rita and ask her?
Nah, don't put me on the spot with Rita, man. Don't do that, cause I'm gonna meet y'all at the meetups and stuff. I don't
I'm
want.
about to.
I
Nope.
ain't trying to be the
You
Rita
already
bad
in there
side.
now. Explain it to her.
God
Tell her.
damn.
You sell it to her. Hold on. Give me a second.
Hello?
Hey, what up?
Hey, what's going on?
You busy?
Get my hair done?
Okay. Hey, I got somebody on the live stream.
Okay.
Leno got a question that he wants to ask you. Leno, go ahead and ask her.
I can't hear.
Hello, Miss Rita. Nice talking to you. Nice. Hello, Miss Rita. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Would you be okay with Anton having another wife?
You said what I what?
Would you be okay? Like, would you give it a go if Anton wanted another wife?
No.
Why?
That's not even an option.
Hmm.
Because I don't like to share. Airtime belongs to me and only me and Leslie.
I can dig that.
That's all you got to say,
I
Leno?
feel like every king. I feel like every king. Well, I believe every king should have more than one wife. You know, back in the day, they had concubines and stuff. Concubines not necessarily a whore. They just took care of another woman. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, that was back then. This is 2023. They're different.
I understand that. I think most women like wouldn't want that. Most.
But I guess my question is though, most men can't even afford one wife or woman. How could they have multiple? Like they can't even take care and do the things that they're supposed to do with one.
Only the kings. Peasants don't get more than one wife.
But what makes you a king? But who
I
determines if
didn't
you're a
say.
king or not?
I didn't say me. I say Anton.
No, I'm asking in general.
Oh well, certain status, like you done hit a threshold, a certain amount of money and amount of wealth. You're highly regarded within society. You know what I'm saying? Like you're the top 1%, basically. Top 5%, we could say, because most dudes not getting that much money.
I'm enough for him.
If you could take care of another, if you could take, she said, no, it's over.
I'm all he be. I'm more than enough. He be getting tired of me sometimes, so I can't imagine somebody else being there.
You said what?
I said he be getting tired of me sometimes, so I can't imagine somebody else being there.
Yeah, I understand that then. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think most women's with that. I ain't gonna lie.
No, I don't know any. That is.
Yeah. And I don't even think it'll become legal within America. So
What makes me a king, Rita?
I mean, I agree with what he said as far as like, the things that you've accomplished, status, all of that stuff. Trustworthy, you lead our home, you ain't never, not took care of anything. So I agree with that aspect of what he's saying, but I think that one woman is enough to suffice though.
what if you want a bigger family?
No, we already agreed that we only need one kid. That's it.
I feel that. I feel
Our
that.
daughter is almost grown. Like she about to be at the house and everything. Why would I start over?
Right. That's why the other woman would be necessary.
No. No.
You got a bad sales pitch, Leno.
Yes, his sales pitch is terrible.
Do I? Well, this is the only way I can put it. Like you was done with it from the from the first thing I said.
You said what, Rita?
I said, yeah, he's not making it sound appetizing at all.
I think I could do a much better pitch than you, Leno, but I'm not going.
All right. Well, we can go to the next question then.
You said what? You said
we can go
what?
to the next one.
The answer is no.
See, you wouldn't even be able to pitch it to your wife. I don't.
Hold on.
The same answer.
Wait. Let's be clear. You missing it. I don't pitch. I make decisions. It's a difference. This is you pitching, right? Whatever it is that I say is going to go. Whatever it is that I say go is the way that it's going to go. Ain't that right, Rita?
It's going to go either way.
I can't hear y'all. You're not talking at the same time.
I said whatever way it's going to go in my household, and whatever it is that I decide the way that it's going to go is the way that it's going to go. I'm going to talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye. Whatever it is that it's going to go is, however it's going to go in my household is how it's going to go, right? I don't have to pitch.
Yeah.
If I wanted to just pitch it a little bit better than you, I could be a little bit more convincing to you. But whatever way it's going to go is the way it's going to go, bro.
No, I feel that. I think it should go that way. You run the household. You know what I mean? Like you said, there ain't no pitching. I just have one more question. I'm a truck driver now, right? I'm gonna move into the semi part. I'm dump trucking now, but I've been looking into the tech stuff like you've been saying. and I done my research, and I think I'm gonna start like a boot camp or something. Get my certs in like maybe cybersecurity, but I've been learning about AWS and Python. Uh, so I'm thinking about doing AWS and Python first and learn them together. Do you think those are like a good combination? And do you think I'll be able to do trucking and tech at the same time? Because I like trucking. It's not like it's something I can really do. You know what I mean? Like it's a cool job to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think you have a
Or you
choice.
think huh?
I said, I don't think you had a choice.
What you mean?
Well, you have to make the pivot, and every guy's supposed to have a hustle, and you're supposed to be working on the next thing all the time, regardless of the position that you in at that particular time.
Right.
So you're never supposed to
saying-
be satisfied with your current situation. You're supposed to be working the whole time. You're supposed to be grinding the whole time, but you always supposed to be working on your hustle, regardless of how much you like your current job.
Right. But I'm saying, do you think I'd be able to have a good tech job and trucking at the same time, or you think like once I get my certification, start applying for jobs and stuff, get into that field, do you think I would have to switch all the way over, or would you think I'd be able to do both?
No, then you're gonna be moving over into something different. Once you adjust and you get into the tech field, then you're not gonna have no time to be focusing on that because it's gonna be too much money that you're leaving on the table if you want to start doing both. So now you're gonna be having to leverage your circumstance in order to continue to level up on the next thing. Now that you've graduated over into getting into that particular field.
Okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm about. Yeah. I'm about to start learning all that stuff right now. I'm over here starting the Python process and then the cloud, and then just start. I'm about to start studying more and more right now.
All right,
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Appreciate that, Tom Dog.
All right, my friend. I'm gonna talk to you later.
Yeah, look forward to meeting you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, have a good day.
Jay, I'm about to pull you up, but let me get some insight. Jay, do you want to be on camera or off camera, big dog?
I prefer to be off camera.
All right, that's cool. What's happening, big bro? What's the word?
Everything is good. Everything, everybody knows me as the tech guy. I'm all about tech. I'm all about cloud. I wasn't gonna cam up until the gentleman said what he should focus on. My insights: I'm AWS certified. I'm Azure certified. I got my got my certifications and things like that. If him and anybody's interested in going into the cloud, I recommend that they do either Microsoft Azure or Google. And the reason I say that is because with the AI race coming up and all these companies investing heavily into AI, it seems that Amazon is falling behind. They don't have a good artificial intelligence infrastructure compared to obviously Microsoft and compared to Google's DeepMind. Other than that, Oracle, Google, Microsoft, I would recommend anybody interested in getting into the cloud to do Microsoft, seeing as how they seem to be leading the AI race within the cloud environment. So that's my recommendation for everybody else.
Tell them where they can find you.
You can find me. I had to bring down my website, but I'm on the chat. You guys can email me.
All right, so this is Jay, y'all. This is Jay. So y'all email him. Make sure y'all get in touch with him. Jay, make sure you drop that email address back into the chat.
Yep, I'll drop it into the
so
chat.
that people can get in touch with you, big dog.
And as far as coding languages, Python, he was right on that. You should want to learn Python, but you should also want to learn languages like C# and things like that. But definitely Python. But for sure, Azure and Google Cloud certifications, they seem to be leading the way as far as leveraging artificial intelligence with their cloud infrastructure as the background. Just wanted to come in and say that.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Because I know that obviously everybody it's like an arms race into cloud infrastructure, even though Amazon may be the leader as far as the market share, whatever. And obviously you got Microsoft that is operating at a distant second. Then it's everybody else, right? You got Oracle, you got Google, obviously. Then when you want to talk about AI technologies, obviously you got ChatGPT, OpenAI, Elon Musk over there. And then obviously you have Bard, right? Do you think that Amazon is also playing catch up, which can also play a role and the fact that they then go on a hiring spree and spend more money from a budgeting perspective, as far as trying to do the catch up, or do you not think that that's a factor that people
So,
should take into consideration?
well, no, it's something that they should take into consideration. But however, Amazon has two fights to fight, right? Obviously, two operating systems that are the more famous ones are Linux operating systems and
Yep.
Microsoft operating systems.
Yep.
But from a hiring perspective, most companies go with Microsoft operating systems because it's easier to hire from the outside.
Yep.
Because there's more people who know Microsoft. So what's happening with Amazon is Microsoft is hitting them with, you want to use our operating systems, we got to charge you something along the lines of, we got to charge you double for the operating licenses. So they got to deal with extra costs for the operating system on AWS infrastructure on top of playing catch up with artificial intelligence. Whereas Microsoft, they don't get, if you go to Microsoft, you don't get that double fee for their operating system licenses. So
Okay.
they're playing catch up both in AI, but they're also scrambling now and it seems like they're coming to an agreement. But Amazon seems like Amazon seems like it rested too much in the first place. Yeah, they're in first place right now, but their market share keeps getting eaten up.
That's what's up. Yeah, drop your
Right.
email in the chat for people to be able to reach out to you. Shout out to the bag chasers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Azure, Microsoft Azure people. That's where you want to go. All right.
All right, my friend.
Take care. Bye.
John Doe, I'm about to bring you up. Give me 1 second. I need to find out whether or not you want to be on camera. You want to be on camera or off camera, big bro?
Nah, we can do it on camera.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm positive.
All right. What's going on, bro?
I'm good, bro. How you been?
Chilling. What do you disagree about?
Well, I rarely disagree with you. I don't actually disagree with anything. I just wanted to come up and show some love and support for the platform.
Oh, that's what's up. I appreciate you, big dog.
I agree with most of the stuff you was talking about. The last guy that you showed that disagreed with Tyler Perry was kind of
Anthony
he
O'Neill.
was a little off brand. Yeah,
that's what's up.
I think he was like way off.
I think that Anthony O'Neill was
Anthony
O'Neill is in a really weird space, and then I think that he's trying to transition into the relationship space. I don't know why, because he has a following in the money space, but I'm starting to see him pop up on all of these relationship panels, all of the stuff that he talks about on other stuff that he's a part of. It seems as though everything is relationship based, and it has nothing to do with money. It's like money is the subset of what it is that he likes to talk about versus what it is that he really wants to talk about. I think he wants to be in a relationship space. I think he wants to be a relationship guru. And I think that that's the thing that interests him the most, and so that's what he's trying to navigate into. I have no idea why he left Dave Ramsey, but I suspect that that's part of the reason why he left Dave Ramsey is because he wanted to talk about more than just money.
Well, I just recently started getting into the money spaces because, like I said in the super chat earlier, I've been clearing out my algorithm. I watch a lot of stuff. I watch your stuff. I watch Angry Man. I watch a lot of the men's content. But like, I'm getting to a point where it's like some certain men's content is just like too focused on women and too focused on modern women and modern women that, bro, I'm not like right now. I'm trying to get right spiritually. I actually got baptized last December. I've been going to church regularly, so I'm trying to like build myself. Thank you, brother. I'm trying to build myself in general, like spiritually, mentally, physically, all that. Like I'm not.
When
even
you get
getting
done
right
building
now because I
yourself,
feel
you
like
decide that you want to. Are you married?
no, I'm not married.
Are you in a relationship?
No, I'm not. I'm not dating. I have no kids. None of that.
Okay, interesting. What do you think that the biggest financial decision that you ever gonna make in your life is gonna be?
I've heard you say before, like the person you lay next to, and I agree with that.
So, isn't it important to understand the environment by which you're gonna then subject yourself to if that's one of the most important decisions that you're gonna ever make?
Yes.
Getting married is a business decision. It's just as much of a business
I agree.
decision as it is on love, right? So even if you get yourself together, let's say, for example, you on this journey and you meet this woman that's equally yoked and is dope and she got the right mindset, right? But then she may have a couple of red flags that you can't identify. How do you then deal with that?
Red flags like what?
It depends, right? She could have a red flag as far as the type of company that she keep, right? It could be the way in which the fact that she don't have a father. It could be, how it is that she expects for you to operate within a relationship as far as when y'all start to have that conversation. It could be the amount of student loan debt that she has. right? It could be a lot of different things. How do you know whether or not you should rock with her or whether or not you should walk away?
Well, if we equally yoked, meaning that she's on the same path that I am, like, spiritual and at least seeking God, because I feel like somebody who's already there wouldn't be equally yoked. Because if you kind of already like, if you know what I mean, like if you already at a point where you've been in church religiously, you've already read the Bible front to back. This is my first time actually reading it front to back. Like I'm only on Leviticus. I've read parts of it, but this is my first time like actually reading it front to back. Like if you already have a certain understanding, you already received the Holy Spirit, you wouldn't be equally yoked with me. But somebody who's
Okay, so let's
on
say
that
that she got
path
the
trying
Holy
to.
Spirit, but she used to be a former hoe.
That's a tough one, to be honest with you. That's a tough one.
What if she got the Holy Spirit, but she got
Well, you know what?
$2,000 in student loan debt?
This is the thing. I think I think if the goods outweigh the bads, then we can go from there. And it depends on what those red flags are and how much it impacts me. Now, if she was a former hoe, that's a bad thing. If she got student loans, that's a bad thing. But at the same time, what I'm learning from like listening to a lot of these spaces, like not just the men who talk about the women, some of the women who talk about the men. There's not a lot of room for grace. It's like, do you
Because
want a former hoe?
there should
No.
be no grace when it comes to making. Listen, do you have room for grace when you decide for the job that you want to go and apply to?
No.
Then why would you have room for grace for the person that you lay next to? And I'm not
Because it's
talking
like
about
you said, like
I'm not talking about the grace that you have when you're in a relationship with them and something happens. I'm talking about the type of grace that you have before you even take into consideration why they should be laying next to you in the first place.
I think you probably should be thinking about like their character and where they are in life right now. If they're genuine about whatever
Nope.
path they're on and the change they're trying to implement.
Nope. And this is why relationships and money have to be a factor when you take it into consideration, because you can make as much money as you want, but when you get finessed out of it, you're going to be coming back to these same spaces trying to understand where you went wrong. It's all encompassing. Life is all encompassing. I know that you may get tired of it, then that means that you need to change. You need to change the algorithm by which the people that you listen to. Maybe you need a different type of person that you want to listen to, but it is very important for us to have the conversations all encompassing, because you will find yourself in a negative situation if you're not paying attention all the way across the board. There is no compromise when it comes to picking a person that you're supposed to be with, in the same way that you're not going to compromise for the job that you say that you want. You just got to learn who to decipher who you want in your algorithm and the people that speak to you versus the people that you're subjecting yourself to that's not conducive for your lifestyle. That's my opinion anyways. Thoughts? Look like you're frozen. Oh well. Hopefully you got the rest of that. I appreciate you for rocking out with me. Listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Do not compromise for the person that you're supposed to be with. I got to get up out of here. I got to take care of some business before I catch this flight over to the airport. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Let me read some of these super chats and then I'm going to get y'all up out of here. Make sure y'all tap in the Fight Club tonight. Let's see. My girl Cassandra Powell says, I believe men who want more than one wife are making up for the lack of women they had in their younger years. It's an ego thing. Interesting. Shout out to you. Victor Williams says, ultimate struggle beer talking about having multiple women. Y'all wild out here in these streets. Lord Geotron says, who knowingly wants multiple modern females? Not me. I ain't got time for that. I'll pass. Victor Williams says, just hang up, bro. Just hang up. Shout out to Victor Williams Jr. Ian says, his facial hair is killing me. 6% stash, 4% beard. Hey, listen, I'm not going to let y'all beard shame people out here in these streets. DJ Kane says, I know exactly the type of women to do it is bagging. Nah, I'm passing. Jari says he just want to smash two chicks. Dude is a lame. No, we can't say he a lame. Forsaken Archive says having multiple wives is like being a manager. Is like being a manager asks, what do you want to be a manager? Do we like being a manager? Victor Williams says learn the fundamentals first. Be Nice says, I love how Rita displays respect, femininity, even when a man is on some bull jive. She just taught me something about what I need from a woman. Yeah, a woman got to maintain frame no matter what. The Beast says, come talk to your Marine recruiter. I can get you right. You'll definitely become the best version of yourself. Shout out to you, my friend. Victor Williams is in the building with the 20 ball. Says, the problem with people trying to get into this field is that they think once you get a cert, that guarantees a job. Build a home lab, learn the fundamentals, tailor your resume, do mock interviews, network, and then apply. That is a phenomenal piece of advice. DJ Kane in the building says, Toastmasters will help a lot of you guys calling in. It helped me become a better communicator. And then my dog Ray, shout out to Ray, says, just wanted to shout out my girlfriend, got me into tech when I was confused, slaving in warehouses. She's trying to get Epic certified now. Shout out to all the real ones and the ladies in the chat. Listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for continuing to rock with me. Make sure you tune in to Fight Club tonight. Also, link to the Patreon is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Get that Teach Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you later. I need y'all to do me one more favor before we get up out of here, though. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be successful by ourselves. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at y'all later. See y'all on Fight Club tonight. Peace.